Hi, this is Jacques Taylor, and you're listening to Jacques Talk. This is a podcast where I talk about the Cowboys, the team I've covered as a beat writer, columnist, TV insider, and radio host for 28 years. I'll also talk about the NFL and the things I love, working out, streaming, food, and all things down. Welcome to Jacques Talk, where sports is fluid. What's true today might not be true an hour, a day, or a month from now. I'm going to give you the truth straight, no chaser. Glad to have you aboard. Let's get it. What's up, people? How y'all rolling today? I'm Jacques Taylor, joined by my boy Big Joy the Big Rig. What is the sit rep, my friend?
Let's see, we are 49 seconds in. The light is red. We good. Operation Jacques Talk is 5x5.
Now, that is always music to my ears. And we tell y'all this every now and then. We came up with this because one day, a few months ago, we taped a hell of a show. Perhaps one of the best. And then discovered that we had not hit all the buttons. And so the only people that heard that show, me and Joe. But rest assured, it was the best. So then we decided we better come up with a concept to make sure we always rocking and rolling at the start. And that led a story about the time I went to Miami to do a piece on Michael Irvin going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And they sent a videographer with me. I want to say her name was Beatrice. But anyway, and we went all over Miami, man. We shot the mayor. Yes, the mayor of Miami got us in. Mayor of Fort Lauderdale. I'm sorry. We went around to Mike's high school, because his high school coach was still coaching the program at St. Thomas Aquinas. We talked to Randy Shannon, then the head coach of Miami. We did all of that, dog. Full day. Got back to the hotel. She went to her room. I went to mine. We said, hey, let's meet up in an hour, go to dinner, and discuss what we're going to do tomorrow. 10 minutes later, I got that phone call, my brother. Jacques, we have a problem. Oh, what's the problem? Nothing's too big. I didn't hit the audio button on any of the interviews. I said, none of them? She said, none of them. She said, this is a new camera they gave me, and on an old camera you did this and this, and the audio started. On this camera, there's an extra step, and I didn't do it. I said, so none of the interviews? She said, no. I said, well, damn. I guess we'll call them back, and I guess we know what we're doing tomorrow. I'm trying to backtrack if we can. So that's a long way of saying that's why we have sit rep, so that we don't have that experience again over here. Got to put in protocols every time there's something new that goes down. Episode 32. That can only be one person for me. Who is it for you, Doc?
Dennis Thurman.
That's it. That's it. I'm in a storytelling mood today. Were you a Dennis Thurman fan?
Yeah.
How come?
Small defensive back out of USC. He took the one photo that Tom Landry called a distraction when he had Thurman Steves. He was just a cool looking player for the Cowboys. He wasn't a big guy, but he had a big attitude and just a highly skilled player. One of the first defensive backs I ever really paid attention to. Right, he had some swag to him. Well, I was a big Dennis Thurman fan for the same reason you were. All those things. And he was a good player. Well, probably about 6 years ago, somewhere around that ballpark, I don't feel like thinking that hard. I was doing TV with NBC. I was the insider for the Cowboys with Newy Scruggs, Pat Doney. We were part of the club, part of the team. Well, I was doing the Sunday night show, or getting ready to do it, and we'd had Drew Pearson for a couple years, and I'd done some help in that. Well, we did Drew the first full year. In the second year, Newy called me up and said, hey, man, Drew, we can't get the numbers right, so he's not going to do it this year. But I got another guy. I think he'll be good. I don't know if you know him or not, Dennis Thurman. I said, Dennis Thurman? We finna do TV with Dennis Thurman? I said, dog, if we can't do it with Drew, Dennis Thurman the next best thing. So me and Dennis hit it off, and part of the greatness of this job that I have is all these dudes I grew up rooting for. A lot of them I've gotten to know very well, and some of them I consider friends these days. Robert Newhouse was like that.
Dennis Thurman is like that. And then, man, imagine how happy I was when I found out later that he's going to be the coach at defensive coordinator at Jackson State, and I'm going down there to write a book on Deion. So we went out to dinner a couple of times, we went to lunch a few times, and I literally started every morning in Dennis Thurman's office for the whole season getting stories about football, whether they were Tom Landry stories or Roger Staubach stories or Dallas Cowboys stories or Jackson State stories or USC stories, or how about this, the Ohio Glory stories. I got them all from him. So he's one of my favorite people. He's at the University of Hawaii right now, defensive coordinator. And so I have told him, I will be out there to check on you and make sure you're doing all right in your older years at the University of Hawaii. And so that's Dennis Thurman. That's the only number 32. One more just popped in my head. Do you know who it is?
Walt Garrison.
Damn, that was not the one, but that's a quality one. Just a pinch between my cheek and gum. Now you got me questioning myself.
Walt Garrison is actually a rodeo cowboy too.
True that. A real rodeo cowboy, not a fake one. Was Tashard Choice 32?
23.
Okay, I got the numbers right.
Out of Georgia Tech.
Yep, I got the numbers right. Just got them transposed. I don't. Somebody else was 32. Oh, how could we forget Orlando Scandrick, man?
Yeah, he was more famous for his big contract than his wife or his ex-wife. But Orlando Scandrick out of Boise State.
Scandrick, one of my favorite people ever to play for the Cowboys, man. After he stopped being mad at me all the time, he one of them cats who had a chip on his shoulder. So you say hi. Why you saying hi to me, man? What's up with you, man? You don't think I can play, man? Dog, I was just saying, hey, what's up? That's Scandrick.
Well, as it goes, it's gonna be. I would say the top number 32s would be Walt Garrison, Dennis Thurman, and Orlando Scandrick.
Is there any other 32s? I'm trying to think. Nobody. I know there must have been another one, but nobody comes to mind.
Somebody will let us know.
Yeah, but I think we took care of the big ones. I think they only get mad if we overlook somebody who they deem should not have been overlooked.
Yeah, I think DeMarco Murray was we overlooked DeMarco. We start talking about we skipped DeMarco. Well, Kenny Gant got Super Bowls, and Kenny Gant had a nickname, and Kenny Gant had a whole gimmick, the Shark. So I'm gonna remember him a little more now. DeMarco was a better player, but I don't know. I mean,
right? I feel you.
Robert Levette, DeMarco Murray, both forgettable.
Let's give Clarence E. Hill Jr. a call. See if we can catch up with him on the left coast as he is knee deep into training camp, and we're gonna introduce him. I'm just gonna make a joke. We'll see if it hits up. I hope he picks up this morning. He's brought to you each and every Friday by Smokey John's Barbecue, home of the Jam Session Bowl, and the banana pudding that you can get at Joe V's Mart.
Hello.
Good morning, Terrence. How are you?
You know what? When they talking about you, just spell my name right.
It's all good marketing, baby.
They're talking about you, though.
Yes, that was funny. For those of you who don't know, this is our good friend Clarence E. Hill Jr., the longest tenured beat writer covering the Cowboys. Showed up right after me in '96, and unlike me, he just stayed on the train. But the Cowboys had the opening press conference last week, and at some point during the press conference, I'm gonna give Clarence a compliment in a minute. Jerry said, "Quit asking me questions that's not on my notes, Terrence," or something to that effect. And that gathered a chuckle. And then your boy McCarthy started the next news conference the next day with, "Okay, Terrence, what's the first question?" So everybody's having fun for this used to be. I'm gonna give Clarence my compliment now. I remember Clarence was kind of on the beat a little bit, I think. Now, you can interrupt me after I finish. A little bit in 95, maybe, doing some sidebar stuff or whatever. I think he showed up in 96, but at some point during there, he wasn't on the beat. But we used to have a fraternal friendship with a few of us, And we used to get together and watch Monday Night Football. And I would fall asleep sometime midway through the game, and they would make fun of me before I went home, unless it was at my house. And I remember Clarence has never changed for as long as I know him. He'd be arguing about the Cowboys. Y'all need to ask this, and y'all need to ask it. I said, hey, dog, we'll tell you, teach your ass out there, and then you can ask all these effing questions. Well, that moment arrived a long time ago, but he's truly now, the way he talked to Jerry is the way he talked to everybody else. And it's been an evolution because, at first when you ask the questions, you're trying to be professional about them. And then you get a little more familiar and a little more comfortable over the years. Then there comes a point where you feel like you that dude and you family because you've known them so long and you don't care about all the BS that they say. You just ask questions any kind of way where you want to. It's like when grandma asks you a question and you can't say nothing. You just laugh because they're so forward with it. Well, Clarence has arrived at that point. So now it's all funny and humorous to watch it because I saw it at the beginning.
Yeah, I can attest to that because I remember being at those some of those parties. You know what they call them, but
young men with money parties.
Yeah, young naysayers.
First of all, we didn't have no money. Okay, stop.
We
We
didn't
had no money.
But we thought we did.
Yeah, we did. We didn't have no money. We thought we did though. But
Okay.
I remember Clarence complaining about saying, "Hey, how come y'all don't ask a certain running back? How come he don't run hard?" They said, how would you ask him? And everybody kind of jumped on him at once. Well, you know what? Like Jacques said, he true to his word. That's what he asked him, how he asked him.
These days, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny we're having this conversation about people complaining about reporters because a lot of my friends have been mad at the reporters who were talking to Trump at the NABJ. Talking about what they should have done and should have done. And I say, y'all don't, those ladies did a great job. You cannot, it's not your job to sit there and argue.
No.
They shouldn't have let Trump lie. They shouldn't have it's like us arguing with Jared Jones about 14 Pro Bowlers on the stand. You don't have 14, I don't know if you heard him say he had 14. They don't have 14 Pro Bowlers in the prime of their career. They got 14 guys who made the Pro Bowl over the course of their career, but it's disingenuous, as intellectually dishonest as I told the PR staff, to tell fans that this year's team is good because we got 14 Pro Bowls. Yes, they got 14 guys that made the Pro Bowl, but you don't have 14 Pro Bowls in the prime of their career.
Right.
And that's what you're trying to sell, that we're a talented team, we got 14 Pro Bowls. Zeke is not the Pro Bowl Zeke, okay? Stop it.
Right.
This is ridiculous to list him as a Pro Bowler at this point in his career or an All-Pro. Don't do that. So, but again, it's not our job. Hey, Jerry, you lied about that. And people think that you're supposed to just stop people, and that's not how interviews work. We ask the question, they give us the answer, then we write our story, do our report. We point out this is a lie.
Right. Or intellectually disingenuous, which is a nice way to say it.
Yeah, but you can't in real time just stop down every question because the dude lied. Which is the thing with Trump is everything that comes out is a lie. But like these people, when they didn't do this, what they should have answered, it's funny. I said, y'all just don't understand. You just can't do that.
No.
You just gotta let them talk. And like Jared talking about, the salary cap. He listed 15. Well, they gonna take 70% of the cap. They gonna take 85% of the cap. I'm like, which one is it, Jared? Pick one. It's really closer to 50%, but pick one. Right, right. All of this stuff, but that's their story, and then you get a chance when you do your reports, you can correct it for the masses. That's how it is. But there's so many Cowboy fans that text us and tweet us about y'all don't ask tough questions, y'all let Jerry off the hook, y'all carry their water and all this stuff.
It seems like to me that I'm not a reporter, but it seemed like to me if you stopped him at the first light, it's like cutting off a faucet. You know what I mean? Like you gotta let him keep going because he's gonna keep saying stuff.
Right, you want him to twist and twist himself up. You know, you want them to keep on talking so you can, when you do your report, you can do your gotcha. It's hard to do that.
Yeah.
You know, so it is interesting. Yeah, I was like, man, the Cowboy fans, I would complain all the time, but y'all don't do this. Like, man, y'all, it's not our job to simply argue. And they want you to argue. No, Jerry, y'all should be signing this guy, and y'all should be doing this, and y'all should be doing that. And that's not real how you do your job.
No, not at any stretch. What has been a week in the training camp? What's the 2 or 3 things that have you most intrigued?
Well, I think the receivers have jumped off the page for me. You know, receivers without CeeDee Lamb, and I've called him CD and a bunch of maybes in the past. You got Brandon Cooks, who's professional receiver,
right?
Solid, but Jalen Brooks and Jalen Tolbert and Devontae Turpin and Tyrone Billy Johnson, they look good. And the thing I've noticed, back in the day, and you correct me if I'm wrong, even during the Romo day, back in the day, Romo only threw to the starting receivers. Like the first team only went out there. They only threw to the starting receivers. And Troy only threw to the starting receivers. Okay? You remember back in the day.
Right.
Dak is throwing the starters and the backups, and they run everybody within. It's not like the first team, the first team off the line go and the first team receivers go. And this is the first group, and that's who is lining up with the quarterback. That's not the case anymore. And it has not been the case. I mean, they run 5 or 6 different receiver combinations with the first team all the time.
Yeah.
And Dak just throws the ball to the guy.
He plays like that too. If you on the field,
for better or for worse,
he gonna get you the ball. If you out there, he's throwing it to you.
Yeah, so he throw to the guy that's open.
Yep.
Obviously, City got a lot of balls, but they truly throw to the guy that's open and throw to, they let everybody play. Those guys have. These receivers have made plays. I remember, seriously, 2 years ago, and I've talked about this. I don't remember when I said there was no touchdown scored in training camp.
Yes, I was there. Yeah,
they not scored no touchdown in training camp. And again, that's not the case. So it is. But the receivers' progress has been good. Deron Bland has been good. It's interesting to watch the left tackle and his growth and development. Continued growth and development. They've been easing me in with the starters. They still haven't put Cooper Beebe out there, which we're waiting to see at center.
Does that mean the other guys doing a good job?
What'd you say?
Does that mean the other guys doing a good job?
That means that they're old school coaches that they, want the young guys to earn it. The other guys been the other guys. We know who he was last year, didn't we? You still drafted a center in the 3rd round. It's just like the Cowboys, don't have Guyton start at left tackle.
Oh, I thought they
got Chuma start.
Okay, they just being.
We know who Chuma was. Chuma, but they got Chuma start. So and they got Austin Richards going second team, but they ain't got. Why are we running through this damn charade? But defensively, Overshawn has showed up. And my boy Jordan Lewis has been a dog. He's been everywhere. He's really been good. People are still waiting on Mozzie, and certainly, obviously Micah and DeMarcus Lawrence and those guys are who they've been. So it's been camp. I mean, we're 2 days in the pads, and really they get to have a full. Today's really an off day. They got what they call a mock game, which is a walkthrough.
Right. And
then tomorrow they get to go a full practice for the first time. The NFL lives to an hour and 30 minutes for the first few days, and I think they go to an hour and 90 minutes on my days are all mixed up. Forgive me, but I guess Friday is Saturday.
This is what we like to say. This is not your daddy's training camp. Well, I remember they went full pads twice a day. Once in the morning, go to lunch, go to meetings, and come on back for another round. This is not your daddy's training camp. I'm conflicted about this story because I don't really care. So I'm curious your perspective. It's been a whole lot of talk about what fans ain't at training camp. How big a deal is this?
Oh, it's not a big deal because the fans have gonna be at the stadium when the season kicks off.
Okay, that was my initial inclination. But it's just been a whole lot of people talking about it.
And I keep this between those girls, as Jerry would say, according to a Cowboys staffer, high-level staffer, the empty seats in training camp don't affect their business one hour. They ain't losing no money over that.
No, it's probably just...
Okay. I mean, because first of all, those stands are free.
Right.
You know, and so... they don't make money really like that. They're not losing, and if they can pay that, it's not a good look, for sure. But the truth is that training camp has been waning for years.
Well, I think it's a situation
it's not
where
a lot of people than last year. People don't, it's been, Zeke said, look, few people. It wasn't as many people than last year. It's never going to be like it was in San Antonio when you had 40,000 people at the Alamo Dome every day. It was never been like San Antonio at all.
Well, I mean, I think the schedule has changed. Like, if you're gonna make the drive and commitment to go watch practice, you kind of want to see practice, not a walkthrough per se.
Yeah, all of that, and they don't get to do that. But what's also true? Who are the stars on this team? Who are must-see players?
Well, that's a good conversation.
The star power is not what it used to be. Let's be honest about this.
Is there really? I mean, is Dak and Micah probably?
Yeah, you got Dak and Micah. Maybe it's CD, and CD's not here.
I put CD in another category. Like, CD to me has not reached the level of stardom, which is different. Which is different than whether you're a great player or not.
Yeah,
we're just talking about like stardom.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you got Dak and Micah, and maybe CD, but that's it. Zeke,
that's a good point. Zeke is no longer a star.
No, he's not, and people don't treat him like a star, and so it's not the same awe factor. And I got to go see them, and so they're not must see TV like that for fans. Who just go googly eyed over that. So I think there are a lot of factors that involve in that, and certainly there's some fan frustration for sure. But as Jerry said, they also signed up season ticket renewals at 99%, the fastest ever, and the fastest in the league.
He didn't have to say it like that, man.
he said, hey, he gonna say it like you said it. It's the truth. Which I wrote a column. I don't know if you saw. I wrote a column as I say, you got to stop blaming Jerry, blame yourself. Y'all buy what he selling.
What did Newey call
y'all
that?
won't change, but y'all don't hold him accountable. Y'all mind what he's selling.
Newey called that opioid, didn't
Yeah.
Yeah, get off that opioid.
Yeah.
Y'all are buying what he's selling. Clarence, I read what you wrote. I read what you wrote. I say. So, but yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, so it's different, and people have schedules, and people, the weekend attendance is much better than during the week attendance because people got jobs, and they've been out here for years, so it's not like I need to go. It's the novelty is worn off too.
Right.
To some extent. But I'll tell you, it's funny because if you put training camp in Dallas, you put training camp in San Antonio, it will be 1 million people every day. Let's be honest about that.
Yep.
Right.
Certainly they want to be out there, like get out for the cool temperatures. They can be out here longer this year than they've ever had. They're obligated to have 2 practices at the Ford Center in Frisco, and part of their contract with Frisco, but they like being Mike McCarthy. You think this is Jerry Day. Mike McCarthy wanted to be out here longer. And Usually if they do two
Probably
preseason
reminds
games,
him of
second
Green
preseason,
Bay.
yeah. Well, yeah, he just thinks that getting the work done in this weather is more efficient and better. Because let's be honest, I know it's cool, the Jimmy thing. I want him to work, train this heat, make him tough, do all of that stuff. Of course, the Cowboys won a lot of Super Bowls, won a lot of games in Thousand Oaks on the top matter about training the heat. But
Yes.
the reality is this: the Cowboys play no hot weather games. All their games indoors or they on the East Coast, and they don't play outdoors like the high schools and the colleges. High school colleges
Right.
need to be outside because that's what they play. The Cowboys don't play no games at 100-degree temperatures. Why should they practice at 100-degree temperatures?
Well, I thought it was more for mental toughness and physical
Well,
condition.
it is, but it's also because that's what you played in.
Right?
You played in that type of weather. But don't tell me Landry's team wasn't mentally tough. They practiced 1,000 Oaks. I mean, it's just that was just Jimmy's thing. But the reality is, the Cowboys do not play like Texas. I've been at Texas games in September where you're out there at 2:00 in Austin on a Saturday or noon on a Saturday, and you are baking.
Yeah.
And the heat on the field coming off that turf is real. And so you need to find a way to practice it and adjust in it. Cowboys are never in that.
That's a good point. Now, look at you, full of good points today. You must have got a good night's sleep last night. I'm gonna give you a 3-0 fastball and see what you do with it. Our good friend Dan Orlovsky this week ranked the top quarterbacks in the NFC. Not the league, just the NFC. Matt Stafford, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff. Now, do you really think he believes that?
As I said, and I tweeted, I don't know if you follow me anymore, but I said, Dan on that
I follow
shit
you,
again.
man.
I said, Dan on that shit again. Dan on that shit again.
I follow you because you have one of the more...
Put his homeboy first.
I'm going to take a quick aside. Clarence has said this 1,000 times on Twitter. If you follow me, you get all of me. So he has a very entertaining Twitter page because he on politics one minute, he on the Longhorns, he on the Cowboys, he on whatever else he come across. So he's an entertaining follow on Twitter. But yes.
Yeah, Dan's on this shit again. I mean, it's first of all, the man is coming off, first of all, just his whole, I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but if you're going on 1 year, the man was led the NFL in passing touchdowns for the second MVP ballot. That's a fact. Nobody was better than in the NFC than Dak Prescott last year. If you want to put a 3-year thing together, 5-year thing together, nobody's been better over the last 4 or 5 years, all total, than Dak Prescott. How can you objectively say that all of these quarterbacks are better than Dak Prescott? That's not true. Now you can talk about playoff success, right. and so Matt Stafford won a Super Bowl. Kirk Cousins hasn't. It's just ridiculous.
It reeks of shtick now.
It's just ridiculous. And then I love Jordan Love. We like what he's done. Is that half a season?
Right. 9 games to be exact. So yeah,
I remember when the Eagles quarterback, what's the dude that was drafted with Dak?
Carson Wentz.
Oh, Carson Wentz.
That guy, I remember when they had to have a good season. And this guy was, he had said Carson Wentz was better than Dak. Carson Wentz is back up now.
Where?
I can't remember. He's
That's
somewhere.
what I'm saying. You can't. I can't either.
But he's a backup now. I mean, but so
Matter of fact, he become a journeyman now.
Yep.
Yes, he's definitely a journeyman for sure. I think he also had, the Tampa quarterback ahead of Dak, if I remember.
No, he
They're
didn't.
from OU. It's just crazy. It's just stupid. But they were doing this. That being said, Dak had a great day of practice yesterday. He was throwing the ball to everybody, zipping the ball in there, throwing dimes, whatever else. It is, you know, the, the Cowboys don't want to go in another direction at quarterback. Uh, they just need to go and get the deal done.
Well, I was trying to see how far we go before we went to contracts. Is CD coming in anytime soon?
It depends on who you listening to. If you listen to Pretty Ricky, on the
Who the hell is
but,
Pretty Ricky? Who is that?
some guy, I think out of New York, who predicted 2 days ago that and he claimed he's some insider on contracts who has a dog in his damn avatar. Who claims CD with the Cowboys and CD are closing in on a deal for this. So I called the agent, I called Stephen Jones, I called the front office. They all said no, and I said no. And Pretty Ricky and his fan base has been mad at me. I'm jealous of Pretty Ricky because he got the scoop, and I'm just trying to shoot him down. If it had been Adam Schefter, Jacques Taylor, Todd Archer, whoever, if they make a report, I'm going to check it out. I'm just not going to go with it. My job is to check it out. I called the principals. They said no. I said what they said. It ain't personal. I'm not.
What it is.
Then I tweeted, be careful where you get your information from.
Damn, the pretty Ricky just come get him?
I don't know. He said them key words. You know what I'm saying?
I hope Pretty Ricky ain't took a shot at him.
I don't know.
We'll try the effort to get Clancy Hill Jr. right back. Maybe his phone ran out.
Shots.
Yeah, I have a problem in this hotel room sometimes. My car
We thought Pretty Ricky got you.
I got 5 bars. I mean, I got everything in this car. Just drops this hotel room. My own Wi-Fi. I don't understand it. But anyway,
we got you.
But anyway, I just said be careful where you get your information from. Of course, so that really got him upset. You're calling Pretty Ricky questionable.
Oh my goodness.
He ain't never broke down on the Cowboys before. But I'm just saying. And my thing is this: fans want it to happen. And so they get excited about it. And so everybody's hitting me up. Is this true? Is this true? They want it to happen. And it's just irresponsible to say something that's not accurate. I mean, do I believe a deal is going to get done? Are they working on a deal? Certainly. Are they closer than they was when they started training camp? They're sending contract offers. All of that is true. And we've said that. We reported to Stephen Jones that they're talking. But to say that they're closing in on a deal, that's not, these according to them, according to CD's agent,
principles.
It's not true. So that's what it is. And I can tell you what the number's going to be. The number's going to be 34, 35 million. They'll be right at just deal.
And the guarantee is going to be right around 100.
You're not, all of that stuff. So it's not like I'm not mad at somebody. That was 2 days ago. That still has a close ain't happened yet. I mean, but I think it'll happen the next week. We'll see. It could happen by Saturday. It could happen by Monday. We'll see. But it ain't happened yet.
So in all y'all's time as a reporter, when you see a guy miss that much, when you see a guy do a contract holdout, how important is it for a guy like CD to be there? Is he gonna step in? Like we talked about the pitchers one time and how guys was it Montgomery holding out for all that money, and Jacques said, hey, it's going to take him 6-7 weeks to get ready. What's the process with a guy like CD?
Well, it shouldn't take him long to get ready because he's been working out. He actually is throwing with Dak this summer, and they do have a chemistry that's already there. But working out on your own and working out in football is different, and so you won't need some ramp-up time. Just globally statement, you want all your guys in camp, okay? If this is a season in which you're trying to win, you want everybody on board and ready to go, pushing toward the same direction. This is not a great environment. Like, that's one thing we got into with Jerry about the start of camp, is that this ambiguity that he's so comfortable with is not a great environment conducive to producing best results for your football team.
Right.
There's too much uncertainty, all of that, and you want CD here, but let's be honest that once he gets in, he's the number one guy. He's gonna step back in and be ready to go. The only thing you worry about is injuries and things that set him back. And he's doing, it's former football players. It's the difference between doing workouts and playing football.
Oh yeah,
he's working out with his trainer and all this stuff. Now you got to come back and play football. And it's different for everybody as you get older. Zach Martin acknowledged that he didn't have as good a year last year as he hoped to have, as he had to pass, as he hopes to have this year because of the holdout.
Right.
Yeah, it matters. I think the biggest thing for me is, the deal's going to get done. Get it done. Don't be bringing him in the week before the season start or the day, Friday before the game on Sunday. Then you can't play him the first game. Get him done. Get it done in time for him to get a week or two worth of work, so that you can avoid the strained groins and hamstrings and all this stuff to come from ratcheting up the intensity without the buildup. And just to wrap up with Joe mentioned, Jordan Montgomery, last year's World Series hero with the Rangers, 7-5 with a career worst 6.51 ERA. First time in his career, he's had more hits than innings pitched. 99 hits in 74 innings. He's been awful this year. He got paid, which is good, but he's been awful this year.
Yeah, and I would say pitchers are different than football players and some of the receivers. Pitchers have always been kind of a mercurial.
Now,
fickle,
I'm not disputing that, but yeah, Jordan, his ERA is 6.51. He ain't had an ERA over 3.7 since 2017. Well, he ain't never allowed more hits than any pitch.
The only thing you can point to is him not getting his contract being ready to go.
Well, he came in so late, but let's not be distracted by that. Your quarterback.
The Raiders have sucked all across the board. Let's be honest about that, too. It wasn't just Jordan.
The Rangers, the Rangers to me are done. They didn't make any bold moves at the trade deadline. I wasn't necessarily mad about that. But their pitching has actually been good enough to win most of the year. Their bats have been silent pretty much all year. And they just don't, to me, they just don't have it. It don't matter how many games out they are first place, 4.5. There's been nothing to show you that they can put a winning streak together of more than, 3 or 4 games against good teams. So I don't expect much from them. I think they'll be fine next year. They can regroup, come back. But this year seems to me to be a wash.
Well, next game promise.
No.
We thought when they won and got one strike away, they would have been back before now. Yes, you don't know. You don't know.
No, you don't. But that team was still good for another 3 or 4 years before they went through their 5-year drought. This team, to me, should be good again, but you don't know. But their lineup the lineup has been inordinately bad last year, just like it was inordinately good when they won the championship. So I don't know how to take that. Plus, Bruce Bochy's track record suggests great, horrible, great, horrible, great, horrible. So next year should be a great year.
You heard it here first. What about the Cowboys? It's been 28 years, It's been 28 years.
Cowboys have had different issues in different years. We'll see what I have very low expectations for the Cowboys this year.
As a fan, that's where you should be. That way, when they do something decent, you won't be disappointed.
You got low expectations. I'm going to tell Mike Zimmer you got low expectations because he tried to call me out the other day at the bar. You're negative. You're a negative writer. Like, you just.
Here we go again.
Talking about you like to write clickbait. I say Zimmer. First of all, when I was covering you, they didn't have the internet. Okay, stop it with the clickbait stuff. You just making stuff up. Okay, we didn't do that. And when you part of the five of them Cowboys. What was good to write? When I showed up, what was good to write?
Hey, man. The thing about it is, my pessimism, and it can change, but it's based off of all the moving parts going on behind the scenes. Because I'm a big believer that people act like athletes are athletes, but they're not people. That's drama and stress in your life when you got off the field issues, or you got your ambiguity about your future and your career. It's not a good, conducive environment, which means when things go wrong, they can spiral quickly. I don't like the offensive line. It's too many question marks for me, and question marks being stuff like, okay, Terrence Steele sucked last year. He had a very bad knee injury. I assume he'll be better, but I don't really know. Zach Martin in his last year, if he already thinking about retirement, he could be good, but will he be the Zach Martin we're used to? The center, he's a rookie. Maybe he'll be good, maybe he won't. The left guard, he looked like a next star. And then the left tackle, he's a rookie. Maybe he'll be good, maybe he won't. They got no running backs. They one CeeDee Lamb sprained knee away from being a disaster at wide receiver. And I think they have a tough schedule.
Receivers look good. Did I just tell you the receivers look good?
Hey, man, I don't trust none of that. I don't trust, outside of Brandon Cooks, I don't trust none of that collection of former Noah Browns.
Well, sometimes they might be a bunch of Rondé Gaskins.
They could be.
They better know Brown. I'm just trying to tell you.
Hey, when all them cats end up with 8-year career, let me know.
CeeDee Lamb's absence might be helping them. And when he join them, it might make the whole unit better.
That's one way to look at it. The schedule is tough with the AFC North.
It is.
Early schedule is tough. Tell me what
in addition to the first place schedule. So there's a lot of things that got to go right for them to have a great year. And I don't know that all those things are going right. I hope they do, because it's always better when the Cowboys win for everybody. So I hope they do. But I haven't been pessimistic about them in a minute. But I just don't like it. So hopefully they prove me wrong. I still don't know how they're going to stop the run. My man Zimmer's there.
Zimmer's scheme. And hey, listen, it's the linebacker, okay? You've heard it already. It's the linebacker.
Okay, don't start no trouble, won't be no trouble. I'm just saying.
The linebackers.
Pretty Ricky already after you, but you don't want nobody who can get you from 1,000 yards.
My boy Overshawn looks good. My boy Overshawn is a baller.
Yeah.
How much he weigh?
Probably about
230. He good size. He don't like Cap now. He's big and fast. Nash from East Texas, okay? East Texas athlete. He athlete from East Texas, okay?
So you expect him to be a difference maker this year?
I mean, difference. Now you got too much dip on your chip. I don't know what difference maker. I mean, compared to last year,
is he gonna be an average player, or is he gonna be like, damn?
It's too easy. It's gonna make a difference. It's too easy from last year.
Right. I mean, what does different maker look like? I mean, our pro different maker, or just better than the linebackers had last year.
No, a good player who you every week you go, oh damn, you see what Overshawn did? That kind of player.
Too early.
Or is he gonna be just a guy?
I think
just a guy is better than what they had, but
I think he's gonna get the opportunity to be cold.
I think he's gonna be more than just a guy. Right. Now,
so you think he'll be a good player?
I got Eric Kendricks that came in as the real quarterback of defense, mispriced with a bad back, tight back. It's precautionary, but they, old guys them back injuries. So
yeah, back don't never get better, and old players get hurt more often and take longer to recover. This is just the beginning. You can't even get out of training camp, dog. You are already hurt.
We're a week in the camp. So.
All right. You're a gymnast dad. Your daughter won a state gymnastics title. You got thoughts on the Olympics?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because, we fight about America. We fight about the politics. But when the Olympics come around, USA, USA, USA. Okay, is what it is.
Or when the war come around,
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
you
Yeah,
go to
well,
war. It's everybody for everybody.
that goes without saying. But yeah, we all about that. And there's no question. I'm rooting for. It's hard when you're in training camp. Because you got to catch at different times. I need to be reminded to turn on TV because I think the women's gymnastics final is this morning or tonight or whatever else. The individual, the individual. But yeah, I was all about the men and what they did, and certainly watched that, and certainly about the women and my girl Jordan Childs and her grill. I don't know if you saw, she had a gold grill in the back. With a special gold medal, and can't wait for the track.
Yep.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Track has always been one of my favorite sports. Intrigued by USA basketball and my boy Kevin Durant. Let y'all know he's freaking Kevin Durant. For you people who don't appreciate greatness.
Yes, sir.
So yeah,
I'm Kevin Durant. You know me.
You know me. Y'all know me. This is what I do. Professional shooter, professional scorer, put ball in basket like nobody business. But yes, that's what he does. So yeah, I've been following the Olympics. The Olympics is always great, and you get to root for kids, and this is it's funny. And just follow Twitter. Some dude from Turkey. Some 40, 50-year-old dude. I don't know if you saw a picture on Twitter.
With the classic dad body just showed up, started shooting.
Classic dad body. They said he had no scope, no glasses, no nothing. He just went out there and won a medal and shooting. Look, just had his regular bifocals on. Just had all the equipment. Like, that dude was just a shooter, man. That dude grew up shooting.
When you got it, you got it.
He didn't need none of all of that stuff. No scope, no special glasses, no ear thing for your ears, all the stuff.
They say that the body may go, but the reflexes never die.
So you see stuff like that.
No, I thought I find the Olympics. Me and Joe were talking about it the other day. I like the stories about the people involved. Because a lot of these sports, it's just an everyday man or woman who just has a skill. They ain't really making no money off of it. It's just something they can do really well. There's no market for it, and the Olympics is their one time to shine, their one time to really do their thing.
Yeah, and as journalists, I think you covered the Olympics. That's one of the dream jobs. You want to cover the Super Bowl. You want to cover the Olympics. You want to be able to. You want to cover the big events. And you want to get, and so that's one thing that's missing from my resume and probably would never be on my resume because I've been so football oriented, was being able to cover the Olympics. I would have loved to have had opportunity to go cover the Olympics.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to fall right for you from a football perspective.
No, it never falls right. You got to be in the right situation. But yeah, and papers don't cover it. We used to send gangs of people to the Olympics. We don't send like that. They don't. He was used to, whole staff to the Olympics, several staffers to the Olympics. Every newspaper did that,
Is that because of money or is it because the Olympics are not, for whatever reason, what they used to be?
Well, I think it's primarily because of money. First of all, staff's so small, we got to find a way to save money, and you can get the same local stories from the budget, from the AP or whatever else. But yeah, I think primarily it's money, for sure. It's the cost. It's a lot of money. The winter Summer Olympics and to be able to send people.
I think the Morning News only sent Kevin Sherrington the columnist.
Right.
Did the Star Telegram send anybody?
We didn't send anybody. No, for sure. But yeah, they sent. I think they sent Kevin Sherrington and one photographer. Right. And they used to send the columnists and a couple of writers at least back in the day.
They used to send a lot of people back in the day. Even when I did it, which was 2010. They had dropped it down to a columnist and a reporter and probably a photographer for the winter, and maybe for the summer they sent maybe one additional person because there's a lot going on in the summer for the U.S. as opposed to the winter, especially if you're talking about Texas athletes. You're a lot more likely to get them from the Summer Olympics than the Winter Olympics.
The Michael Johnson heyday, I'm sure y'all had a lot of people going.
We was probably sending about 10 or 12 people then. Because that was the heyday. That's when we had an Olympic writer. Like, all you did was cover the Olympics. And the trials and the big events that led up, the World Championships. We used to have people go to Zurich every year to cover the World Championships and track and everything else.
Right.
But
So
like many things,
but
that's how the business has changed.
Oh, no doubt. The business has changed. Just like I used to have 3 people on the Cowboys beat. There's just me. In the morning news, had 3 on the beat. He used to bring columnists to stay out here the whole time. And I think the columnists stayed about 10 days or the first week. And now that Gelson's gone, I think we've got 2 on the beat. I don't think they're going to go back up to 3.
No. Word on the street is they will not be going back to 3. Just 2. The whole business has changed. We could talk for 2 hours on how the business of journalism has changed just since we've been around. And, how do you continue to evolve and stay relevant and make yourself a factor in the sports world and in the sports journalism world? No,
it's tough. I was talking to somebody else the other day. It's hard to grow old in this business, and you just got to find a way to stick around. And we're appreciative of our careers and be able to do it as long as we have, because everybody, we started with doing something else. Most people we started with doing something else.
Yeah, that includes me. But
you found a way to make it work and still stay in the business. I mean, still stay doing sports. Yeah. There are a lot of people who aren't doing sports at all.
No. There's a lot of people who just like, I'm good. And whether they go into public relations, whether they go to marketing, some of them go into completely different fields, insurance, teaching, whatever.
There's a lot of people don't realize the greatness of a newspaper.
Ask my son, who's 20 years old, the last time he read a newspaper.
Yeah, the newspaper's great. It was the phone before the phone. 'Cause you got all your information, all of that, ads, everything. It was newspaper was awesome. I got all 3 Sunday papers on Sunday when I was a kid.
Is that right?
Yeah. I got the Times Herald, the Morning News, and the Star Telegram. Yeah. Just because of the box scores and the different writers and all of that.
Yeah, they stopped putting the box scores in the paper. That hurt a lot of people.
Box scores was great. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The newspaper was awesome.
Now you're right. That's a great point, man. Because now the phone is where it's at.
Yeah.
All that stuff you look for, you can find it on your phone in a minute.
But the greatness of the newspaper is if you got your picture in there, man.
Yeah. I remember people still I got people that still got clips of me writing stories. That's the beautiful thing about. And I always talk about the business and when you cover high schools. And you grow at a paper, and which don't happen anymore. Which I think is the best way to grow. Is start with high schools and move your way up through colleges into the pros, as high school to the pros, because it gives you a connection to the city. And I just like when Robert Hughes died, all his athletes called me. I ain't covered the Cowboys. High school, his former basketball players called me. They gave me the news. The people forward because they remember me. And I went and sat down with a principal at Dunbar, and I want to give it to you, and I want to talk to you about Robert Hughes and all this other stuff, and so that's why I like being at Forest, and I like being because I didn't grow up here, but I represent Forward. I represent, and that's because I started covering high schools, and it's not just being there covering the Cowboys. I started covering high schools, and people remember you from covering high schools and being at all the little events. And you learn about the city, you learn about the people of the city and the culture of the city, starting with high schools, and so that was part of the fabric of the newspaper to a certain extent. Now we don't put the high school game, we don't do the Friday night like we used to. It's just a whole different deal. But I really appreciate being able to be that and do that.
Yeah, to see your name in print, the high school box score.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got former athletes telling me, I still got the clippings, when you did wrote this about me and you wrote that, but they grown men now.
That's a trip,
I still got those clippings and stuff like that. So, yeah, it has changed a lot, but yeah. That's journalism, and that's the state of the game now. But now you say it's the phone, but the phone you compartmentalize, and so the thing about the newspaper is when you got the newspaper when you went to the toilet and it was sitting on the kitchen table for your breakfast, you read the newspaper from cover to cover. And so you did not just read about the things you were interested in. You saw things that you weren't interested in that caught your eye. And because you will read the whole paper.
The newspaper sat there for a week.
Yeah, you read the whole paper. I was talking to my daughter about the other day, and I was trying to tell her, we used to look for cars in, newspaper. You go get the Sunday ads, and that's where all the car deals and all the grocery deals, everything, everybody, that's how you can find your car deals, everything else. You go through the newspaper, see what's on sale, and all this stuff. You certainly, every company and every business has their own digital market, and they don't need the newspaper anymore. No. And so when you use the phone, certainly have to targeted ads because you think about something, then it pops up. It's crazy to me, but.
You look for a job in the newspaper. You look for furniture in the newspaper.
Everything.
Yep.
But with the phone, you kind of focus on the things you're interested in. So you compartment, you got bookmarks, you got things like that. So it's hard to find random stuff, which to me is why I love Twitter. Because when I love Twitter, I see a lot of things come down my timeline because I follow different people. And so I don't just, like some people just follow football people, and so all they get is football and you're football. I follow a lot of different people. I'm interested in a lot of different subjects. So a lot of things come down my timeline because I'm not a scene head in that sense. I want to see, what's going on in the world. And like I tell people, I'm a black man in America, I cannot sit out on what's going on with the election.
No.
And ignore it. I'm sorry, I can't do it, and refuse to do it.
I was gonna say you refuse to do it, not that you can't.
Oh, I've had conversations with the paper and everybody else about, and I think we go on a tangent. We go. There's 7:47. It's almost an hour, man. Y'all trying to keep me an hour. My paycheck don't say an hour.
Bro, hey, we just opened the gate and let you go, dog.
You like this conversation I had with my brother yesterday. My younger brother called me, and we talked for 45 minutes, and I said 18 words. And he said, okay, man, I got to run. I appreciate you. I love you. I'll talk to you later. I'm like, okay, bro. I guess you just needed to clear your chest off today. That's what I'm here for. So, it's all good, baby.
Paycheck don't say an hour, okay?
Well, since you don't, we're going to let you go here at 54 minutes. That way we don't get to the hour. That's like when you go see the therapist and you be in the middle of a phrase and you hear, ding. And he said, well, Mr. Taylor, you should finish that sentence. And I'll see you next week. What time would you like to show up? I'm like, but I got more to say. I'm sorry. Your time here is done this week.
Hey, what kind of bartender you got?
First of all, the way he drinks appletini. His therapist and a bartender. Okay.
Hey, man. Hey, Content Dave. We're going to bring Content Dave in the show. Go over there to Content Dave. Hurry up. Time is of the essence. Shout it out, Dave. What's on the liquor floor up there, Dave? What it say?
Which one?
All of them. Read them off.
All right, we got Screwball, Jameson, Crown Royal Apple, Black Rose Kraken, Crown Royal Peach, Jameson Cold
Crown
Brew,
Royal Peach,
Tequila Pantalona.
Yeah. Now, what's in the fridge, Dave?
I think
Shut up, Clarence. What's in the fridge, Dave?
All right, we got Lean Body. We got
liquor.
What did he say?
Lean Body.
We got a bunch of beer. We got Jameson Orange, and we got Mango Ciroc.
That sounds like
we got plenty of liquor over here, man.
Mango Ciroc.
I've grown up, dog.
What are we doing, man? We'll drink Appletini. I don't
know. All them flavors, they might be left over. Somebody else should live there. They're gonna leave that home.
No.
You know what, man?
All that.
That was unprofessional.
That just proved absolutely nothing, right?
That was unprofessional. Because she didn't really drink. I
don't know nothing about that.
She liked to smoke. She didn't like to drink.
Okay. How much you smoke with her? How much you smoke?
I fired up no, it's not legal in Texas, so not much. Hey man, it's time for you to go. Your time here is done. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
That's Clarence E. Hill Jr., also known as Hijacking Hill. Brought to you each and every Friday by Smokey John's Barbecue. We do a very poor job of corralling and controlling him. Every week my plan is to keep him to about 20, 25 minutes. And then he stretches it out. And then he complained at me that he stayed an hour. It just be like that. That's Clarence E. Hill Jr. brought to you each and every Friday by Smokey John's Barbecue. Home of the Jam Session Bowl, which is delicious. I mean, all the food there is good, from the catfish to the ribs to the chicken. It's all magnificent. But that Jam Session Bowl, that's something else. It's a mac and cheese base or a mashed potato base. Then, your choice, 2 out of 5 smoked meats. Your boy likes to rock with the brisket and the sausage. Then all that stuff you find on the loaded baked potato. You know, butter, sour cream, bacon bits, cheese. It's magnificent, man. Butter. They put all that stuff on it, then they drench it or they drizzle it with sauce, depending on how you get down. Then, it's enough for 2 people, easy. Easy. If you got a little shorty, 3 of y'all can get down with it. Real talk. Now, as I like to tell y'all, if you need Smokey John's in your life, like today, you can go get it. HEB's all over DFW. Got the sauce and the rub right here. They got it. All you got to do is roll by. Burleson, McKinney, Waxahachie, Frisco, Mansfield, McKinney, Allen. Anywhere you find HEB, you can find Smokey John's. And then, check this out. If you go to Joe V's Mart over in Dallas, right off of Wheatland in 67, you'll find the sauce to rub and the banana pudding. I'm just saying, it is to live for. It is to live for. Take your boy's word for it. Now, if you can wait a couple of days, you can go to the website, SmokeyJohns.com, click on the marketplace, you can get the sauce and the rub, sit to your crib in a couple of days. You can even order a t-shirt there, but the sauce and the rub, most important, get it sent to your house in a couple of days. Smokey John's Barbecue, food to live for. It is what? Love in your mouth. Yum, yum, yum. Smokey John's Barbecue. Get some. I just talked to my boy Juan. Brent and Juan own it. Their dad created it. We just had a little chat yesterday about a few things, and they're getting ready for the state fair. You know, he told me, he said, you got to come hang out with me for a minute because it's been crazy around here, and we have been beyond blessed about how we survive and all these different things going on and creating new things for us. So, Smokey John's Barbecue, home of the Jazz Session Bowl, owned by my 2 friends, Juan and Brent. They're wonderful guys. They're great guys. Let's quickly go to the block, man, since Clarence took all our time. But I'm curious if this ever happened to you. Have you ever had a car stolen?
No. I had it. I thought I had it stolen.
Did somebody move it or one of your kids borrowed it?
Nah, back in the day when you had the payment coupons, when you went to the bank, you know, like the coupon, you had the coupon book for the bank.
Right.
It said,
right.
My one car was $300 and my other car was $353.
Right.
And my wife paid those bills, and she forgot the coupon book, so she gave the lady all the money. Well, the lady put it on one car. Instead of, the
Really?
bank divided up, they put it on our Nissan instead of my Zuzu.
Right.
And I walked out one day. That thing was gone. And I was like, I knew that I had the money to pay for it. I'm like, call the bank, because I think somebody just stole my truck. And turns out that, no, that was the problem. The lady put all the money on one account. So we called the bank reversed it. The only thing is they didn't bring it back.
Right.
I had to go get it.
Oh, okay. That is a long time ago. I had to go get it.
Yeah, I had to go get
everything's electronic these days.
No, I'm talking about I had to go get my truck.
Get your truck? Oh, they came got that thing.
I'm sorry. I must have miscommunicated that. I walked outside. My truck was gone. I thought it was stolen. So I told my wife to call the bank to make sure everything's good. But I knew we had paid it.
Right.
So where's my damn truck?
Yeah.
The lady at the bank, when my wife didn't give her the coupon, she just put both payments on the Nissan and didn't put it on the Zuzu because we didn't have the coupon book. That's how long ago that was. Like 90. And like 90 something. But anyway, they took my truck. I thought it was stolen. They reversed the stuff, and then I had to go way on the other side of Fort Worth to get my truck.
Damn.
So that's what I've been had them broke into a couple of times, multiple
Right.
times.
Multiple times? Yeah, I haven't had a car stolen. I'm like you, I've had it broken into a few times. But I was talking to a friend of mine last week. He was he owns a barbecue joint. It's actually it's a cook to order barbecue. He calls himself a meat concierge. So you know his meat is fancy. But he does mostly catering. So he put on Facebook, "Hey, I'm doing some ribs. You can swing by, pick up some if you get down like that."
Don't sell them till they out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his ribs are. He has a great story. I'm gonna give you a quick aside to his great story. He's a pastor. He's a good dude. Not that you can't be a good dude and be a pastor, but during the pandemic, he got laid off. And while he was laying off as being a pastor, he started taking food to the homeless in Dallas. Even though it was during the pandemic, he started taking food to the homeless like every Sunday or something. And while he was passing out free food that he made, a couple random people you got a few leftovers, you give a couple random people some sandwiches or whatever you got. And you know what happened? Damn, dog, your sandwich good, man. Really? Yeah. I mean, this is some of the best barbecue I ever had. Long story short, he turned it into a business. And now he does, it's a full-fledged business. So anyway, he had these ribs and I hadn't had any in a minute. And I like to support my friends who are fellow entrepreneurs like me as much as I can. And so I was like, yo, I'm going to roll through. How long you going to be there? He told me. I pulled up a couple hours later, got my ribs. We sat out there, solved all the world's problems for 30 minutes or an hour. And as he was wrapping up, he said, He said, my car got stolen this morning, dog. I said, I didn't even know people stole cars no more. I guess they do.
Leave them running, they will.
Well, he did almost the next best thing, my brother. He said, well, I got a BMW 5 Series. That's not on the list of cars that are like, Honda Accords are like some of the most popular cars to steal. Which I've had for a long time until recently. He said, but BMW 5 Series 5 people don't steal them. I said, damn, dog, where were you? Blah, blah, blah. He said, man, you know what happened. I got out the car. I parked on the street. And I left the key fob in the center console. He said, so somebody must have just been a door puller. They just pulling doors, hoping they get lucky. They pulled the door, opened it up, saw the key fob in there, was like, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Backed up, drove off.
Why would you leave the key fob in the console?
He forgot it.
Oh, he forgot it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep it on my person when I got a car like that.
I go back and forth, man. I mean, I know you make fun of me, so I just accept it. One of the reasons I got a man bag is I had so much different stuff. And I got tired of forgetting, losing, dropping, misplacing. I said, you know what? I see why these women carry purses. I'm going to get a man bag and put all my stuff in there.
All right. I'm gonna leave that alone.
So,
yeah.
But since I do that, I don't, because now my car, I'm sure most cars that do this, if I leave the fob in there, it goes beep, and you go, oh, damn, I left the fob in there.
Yep.
So I don't know what happened where it didn't make a noise, or maybe he's so used to hearing it, he ignored it. Or maybe, and this has happened to me sometime, my car got towed from my apartment this way, which is I ran in the house. I parked a little bit crooked, not a lot crooked, but a little crooked. I ran in my apartment to do something, because I was intent on going back out like in an hour. And this was like in the middle of the afternoon. And wherever I was supposed to go, I got a phone call. I said, oh, this is canceled. You don't need to go anymore. And so I didn't, I stayed in the rest of the day. Got up the next morning. I think that was a Friday. Got in the next morning. Where's my car? Did somebody steal it? So I called the tow people. Hey, y'all got my car? Yes, sir. How do you have my car? Where do you park? You parked on the white line. I was like, really? Yep.
You was a little crooked or a lot of crooked?
Nah, dog. It's a little. You know, tow companies, man, I don't have nothing good to say about them. I said, you got picture, visual evidence? No. I mean, so how you going to argue? It's my word against your word. The department not going to give you your money back. They're not going to give you their money back. And so you just SOL. The idea is not to park even on the line because now you know. That's a very valuable $200 lesson I learned. But that's the last time I thought I had a car stolen. So I need to check on my boy to see if he got his car back because I was like, I don't know nobody ever had their car stolen, dog. What's the process? He's like, you call the police. They come, you fill out a report. And if they call you back if they find it. If they don't find it, you got to call the insurance company, say it got stolen. Here's what it's worth. Here's what they say it's worth. Hope you're not upside down. I think that's the proper terminology. And, you know, and either get a new car or, you know, however you're going to work it out. But it's a pain in the ass. How about that? But the lesson to all that is, hey, don't leave key fob in the car. Even if you're a pastor, they will steal your car. But that's what I was just curious, man, because I hadn't heard anybody get their car stolen in a long time. I didn't think people still did that. But that's our trip around the block this week. Remember to check out the Patrick Creighton Jacques Talk one-on-one interview on YouTube. It's at The Real Jacques Talk. Please subscribe, rate, and review. We appreciate you. You can follow the show on IG at The Real Jacques Talk. Hit me up on Twitter at JJT Journalist. And then you can also follow me on Clapper at I am Jean-Jacques Taylor. I don't believe Joe has joined Twitter yet. Have you, sir?
No, I got a lot of stuff going on.
He gonna get there one day.
Yeah.
There's no pressure.
I'm gonna get there
He
soon.
gonna get there one day. He got a little. He busy playing the game right now. If you know, you know.
No, I got other stuff. It's all good.
Yeah. So for Big Joe and the Big Rig, till we chat again, you guys be blessed.